I'm the MVP. I mean, the best in the world. I can't win them all. I'm human. I'm just like y'all. I'm the MVP. I'm the MVP.
So starting the retreat, like sending out videos and everything, did you think we were going to have anybody show up? Did you think it was going to be me, you, and Yusuf sitting there?
So first of all, I didn't even know Yusuf. So you just said there was some random guy from Florida coming.
Full of energy, I said.
Yeah, so you and me in Florida, man, we're getting a house together out in the middle of nowhere in Utah.
Right, because the first place we picked was on like 190 acres or something like that.
Yeah, out of the middle of nowhere.
Right.
But yeah, so at first it was you and me in Florida, man, out in the middle of the woods. That's what it was going to be. And I was like, then that's what it is.
Right.
I mean, like, that's what the first one's going to be.
Right.
I figured we would get other people, because we also had a Dalton D. Rice. He'd popped up, and he had like 5 to 10 people throughout the week.
A DJ showed up with him, like,
yeah, like,
so it was just gonna be me, you, and Yusuf.
You, me, in Florida, man.
You know, I had gotten a bunch of response the week before from people from all over the country, and then I had these guys from Michigan, from Flint, Michigan, Levi and Zaza, Viticus Maximus and Zaza, and they're talking about they're gonna come and paint. You remember me telling me, like, I just kept texting, I kept texting you, and I was like, man, you know, I don't know if
sending me screenshots.
Right, I don't know if these guys are coming for music or if they're just coming to paint. But it's 2 more bodies in the house that we need.
What was wild to me is, like, none of these people were spoken to on the phone beforehand.
He said he was going to call.
Did he?
3 times. No.
Yeah.
No.
It was all text with everyone.
It wasn't even text. It was Instagram.
Yeah.
It was DMs. Except for Yusuf. I did text Yusuf and talk to Yusuf.
This is a great time to be a serial killer, I gotta say. People just showing up through DMs on Instagram.
Off of AI ads. Like, I did have some people be like, this looks like Hunger Games stuff. It's not. It's real.
It's real.
We are real.
Yeah.
You know, there was a few back and forths of like, you're going to show up and get shot, or you're not going to show up and get shot. You're gonna go.
We were using a bunch of AI videos because we didn't have like
we didn't have any shots.
We didn't have any footage of people.
And we learned you can't fake it.
Yeah.
You know.
But the lesson is, if you build it, they will come.
Right. And so we ended up getting like 7 or 8 people that said they were going to show up, which was cool. You know, a couple of locals were coming. These guys from Flint, Michigan were supposedly coming to paint. Yusuf was coming, which, you know, Yusuf's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. And so he shows up from the airplane on Saturday. We've rented the place, found the spot. He talked us into getting a spot with Wi-Fi. And so me and Velan show up and go and pick him up. We're waiting in that airport, trying not to get hurt on those little white things that you can climb on.
Oh yeah, the weird pedestals.
The weird pedestals you can climb on. And he shows up and he just smiles. He's got his giant DJ case that says heavy on it, so I don't offer to pick up his bag.
Smart.
And we start heading towards the house. We get some lunch, and it is just me, you, and Yusuf. We try to figure out setting up. Remember that?
We pretty much rolled into the house. Everyone picked out a bedroom really quickly. And then Dalton showed up. Right after it wasn't too long after we got there. And then the 4 of us just started popping up and making stuff.
Right.
Like immediately out the back.
I started playing some beats for him. I had a beat for Yusuf. He's like, yep, that's the one I want.
You were sitting out back smoking a cigarette and showing some stuff on the laptop.
Right.
And then while you were out there, Yusuf pulled out his laptop. Then I pulled out my computer. And then he pulled out a microphone.
And speakers.
And then the next thing you know, we just are randomly outside behind this house recording him freestyling with Dalton.
Right.
I pulled out some colored lights.
It starts to get dark out. Like, Dalton's got a tent that we can sit in, but we don't. For some reason, these guys are on the back porch And I'm freaking out because I don't know the area.
It's just a back porch vibe, dude.
Just the back. It's just do what
you gotta do. The back porch is a vibe, dude. Like it just felt good sitting there hanging out.
Oh, and we had that snowstorm the day before.
Oh yeah.
And Zaza and Levi were like, we had to stop in Iowa or something like that. The car almost flipped over from the wind. I'm like, cool. Well, they're on their way, guys. They'll be here at like 3 a.m.
I didn't think they were like you said they were still coming, and I was like, bro, they're in a snowstorm.
They're not coming. They turned around.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Nope.
But we saw a new car in the driveway, and so we
just knew there were people downstairs in the basement.
Yeah, we knew they were there. We're like, did we worry about noise? No. I started making beats. I just, this will. If they're here for music, they'll wake up.
Yeah.
They woke up, and Zaza is this presence, and Levi is. He's a little more reserved, a little.
Yeah.
He's our age, so he's feeling like he's fitting in at least. He's a cool mother. Zaza jumps on immediately. He's like, "What do you got?" No, let's do this. And so he starts having me make trap beats. I hate making trap beats, but I made him some, and he's like, "I don't want a ball hog. Get somebody else on there." And I'm like. Who else wants to get on? Come on, let's do this. And I think that's when we made Red Dondada. He started doing Red Dondada, but he wanted to do it right, so it took longer than a day. It did. Mm-hmm. But Levi's there, and so I started making him a beat, right? And it's the On My Block beat, and he starts writing it, but Levi writes in his own way. Takes some time. He says most songs take him months to make.
Yeah, Levi is one of those guys who has a process, and that process shall not be rushed. I'll tell you what. And we went filming out that one night and stuff, and he was trying. Bless him. He worked so hard to work with me because he is not a fast paced dude.
Right.
No, like he wants to take his time. He wants to think about it. He wants to look at it, and I'm like. We have 4 hours to film tonight, and that's it.
Right.
So, like...
Well, because the cemetery is closing.
The cemetery is closing, and then technically we went to this place that's got this little Stonehenge thing.
Right.
We just didn't have a lot of time. Like, we had that night, and then they're gone in 2 days.
Right.
So, like, to film it, like, we had that night, and so, like, he worked so hard to accelerate his process.
Right. That was the video process. Mm-hmm. Like, this was day 2 I made this beat for him. And it was like day 3, and I'm wondering what we're gonna do with it. I'm trying to rush him, and this guy shows up, this big dude, must be 3 bills plus, with like this mask on. He's like, "Hey, I heard there was music being made in here." Good old Lee, you know what I mean? God, he's American as can be. And he hears the beat. He's like, "Let me get on this," and I said, it's Levi's. Like, he says, "I don't care what you do with it. Just let me jump on this real quick." And so out comes this British rapper from somewhere, and I just can't. My jaw drops. I can't stop looking at the guy. I'm like, where did this come from?
Same thoughts. Where the hell did this come from?
This has to stay in this song. So now I've got to talk Levi into stopping his process to match this process.
How do you take that?
He's like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. Wait, that was my beat. Yeah, Levi, it was, but you took a little long to do it. And so I talk him into it, and he jumps on it, and it is amazing. On My Block, probably by far my favorite. Mm-hmm. Levi nailed it. We had a little argument about like some of his vocals and the way to do it.
But that's kind of the beauty of these things, dude, is there's a time limit.
Right.
And that time limit, man...
If you didn't do it, it's somebody else's beat.
I'll tell you right now, if we didn't have that time... Well, not only that, if we didn't have that time limit, we'd have no songs.
Right.
People would still be working on them.
Right. Absolutely.
The fact that we said deadline now.
Right.
Like people, it just forced them to whatever the process is.
Well, and I mean, we
accelerate it.
We had the goal too of 1 song a day, one video a day at least. Mm-hmm. Songs are easy; we can make those quickly, and then polish them later.
We rented the place out for 7 days, but really we had 6.
Right. Well, really 5 by the time you get everybody there.
Yeah, it's true. By the time we were there,
by the time everybody showed up, by the time everybody came through. By the time Dalton guys through, Wiz Kid, the Wiz Kid who'd never been on a record, showed up to the house.
After a night of partying.
He had
been out the night before.
Right. He showed up turned out, man. He had been drinking all night.
2 scoops of pre-workout, dry shot on the way up.
Yeah, just like that. And he was the life of the party, but had never been on a microphone before.
Had never been on a microphone, had never rapped, had never written anything before.
Right. So we were working on the cipher. It wasn't going to be a cipher, of course, but things happen. Everybody loves the horns of the cipher. I love the horns. I need to get on this. It's good, dude. We even Velan got on it.
Yeah, and my part was quick too. We did my whole thing in less than 15 minutes.
We didn't even write it out.
We didn't. No, we went in there, listened to it, and then I went, okay, we're gonna say this.
Right. Or I was like, say this or that. Or, welcome to the Wanderverse.
We did not think terribly hard about the introductions of everybody, and we ran through it very quickly.
No.
And I'm happy with how it turned out.
Right. And so while I'm laying down my part, the dude, I am the dude. I'm laying down my part. I've got the Wiz Kid working with Zaza because Zaza's working through his words and what he needs to say and hyping him up. And then everybody gets behind him, starts hyping him up. I get Yusuf in there real quick. He knows what he's doing, Zaza comes through. He's got his bars laid out. Levi surprisingly pulled something out of his phone that he already had written that worked out, except for the last line.
He came out and he said something about a Wasatch, and he was trying to come up with the next line.
Right.
And I was like, what the F is a Wasatch?
Right.
That's the next line. And he's like, gosh dang it. No, Jordan told me everyone around here would know what a Wasatch is.
Right.
And I was like, no, dude. The next line should be, what the F is a Wasatch? And he was like, oh, that's good.
That worked out so well. And then D-Rice, I had to punch him in on every line. He had never been on a mic either. So that's his debut. And then the Wiz Kid came on, and he just nailed it.
Spit bars.
One take.
Out of nowhere.
Okay, 3 takes, right? But he ran through the first time, and it was almost perfect. He was the easiest one to engineer. His vocals were all the same amount, same everything. It was super easy on his vocals. Add a couple things, my little sauce, and he was good to go. And then we thought we were done with it. Then I jumped on Vamper, the Tinder for musicians.
Yes, Vamper.
Vamper, VAMPR. Yeah, they're real too. It's social media for musicians. I reached out to everybody in the area on Vamper saying, we are MVP Retreats. This is what we're doing. We're in town for a week. We're going to make music all week. Come by and check it out. And then I got Riley Day. And Riley Day is amazing.
She's a gem.
Right. She's like, this sounds hella cool. Send me the address. I'll be there tomorrow. I'm free for the next 4 days. Done. Here's the address. Come check it out. It was another one. I wasn't sure if she was going to show up or not.
Well, again, just DMs.
Just DMs.
Just DMing.
And so she shows up in her car. She's a musician.
What was she driving? It was
like a little Geo Metro or something.
No, it was a lime green Scion, the square. Right. Is that what it is? The square car.
Okay.
And she's talking about
But the back window is plastic.
Well, it's smashed.
You'll hear it in her song. She talks about her windows being busted out and everything. And her window is smashed and she shows up and
she knocks on the door and kind of came in.
Right, but nobody heard her knock on the door. I told her to just come in. So
yeah. She shows up, pink hair, head slightly shaved, very tall.
Right, very tall. And she just kind of looks around. And she's like, "Oh, you guys are real. You guys are real. You guys are."
She came in and vetted us real quick.
Right, and then she pulled out her computer and whatever, set it up. And she's like, "I'll be back in a half hour. It's Salt Lake City. You are not coming back in a half hour.
Yeah, 2 hours.
But you left your computer here, so you're definitely coming back."
Yeah.
She comes back with a whole car full of drums, guitar.
She had a full drums kit.
Hey, a full drum kit in this little car. A guitar,
bass,
every instrument you can imagine. Right, her speakers. She got 3 different microphones set up, like everything. And I'm like, cool, she's here. And I just go back to my room and start making more beats.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't downstairs when she made How It Feels.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you were.
Yeah.
And so she's on her keyboard. I forgot to say she had a keyboard, right? So why don't you tell us about how she was making the song? And
she was very, very, very fast. So she'd kind of had come up with some premises for this. She wanted to make something that was kind of like a Prince vibe.
Right.
And so she kind of had a little bit of it mapped out beforehand, but she showed up, got it there.
It's on our mini.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dance remix or whatever, the instrumental that's on the mini. That's the one you're talking about, the Prince one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about How It Feels because she made that there too, right? I think she had an idea for that one too.
She made 2 songs. See, here's the thing: is like I don't know. I never saw the words written down. I never saw anything.
Right.
And so like I don't know what half the songs were that I filmed. And like going back over it until I got the tracks from you and what they were like named and stuff.
Right.
I don't have anywhere in my head. This is just a song, Zaza Zam rap.
Oh.
This is a song that Riley did. I don't know what they were.
Okay, so
because they never said this is what this song is called. Red
Dundada.
Red Dundada. With the first time I heard that song's name was when it was posted.
It was named Serum first.
So,
yeah, we changed the name because it just fit better.
Yeah, you know? Which is fine, but like I was not kept in the loop, and so I was confused by many things.
What song is this? Red Dundada. Which one is that?
Yeah. So okay. So
she's down there. I did walk down once, and she was doing the piano thing, and I heard her say, "You add a little reverb to it, and it's just amazing." And she plays it, and it's a do 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 do, and it's a reverby, and I'm like, dang. She's a musician.
She knows what she's doing.
She is a musician.
You know, I see people when they're being creative, they're trying things and seeing how they go.
Right.
She had things in her mind she was trying to make manifest.
Right.
It's a very different thing.
She thinks different too.
Yeah. A lot of my filmmaking is me capturing and making something out of it.
Right.
Going into it beforehand, thinking about shots that I want to have, sequences that I want to have is the next step.
Right.
And that's what I didn't start calling myself a filmmaker until I started doing stuff like that.
Right.
Like I say, like Riley is not like someone who she's an artist. She's making a go of this.
An artist, a musician. She's
going to
all
eat.
Of that.
She's going to eat off her work.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I have full confidence.
Eventually,
she gonna get it.
Eventually,
she gonna get it.
She's already got it. She just needs to get plugged into the right people.
Yeah.
You know,
working on it.
And Vamper might be the spot to do it.
Yeah. I need to get on Vamper. I need to find me some people to film.
They need a Vamper for film. And so she comes up with this amazing song, How It Feels. It's my kid's favorite beat on the whole album.
Is it?
He listed his 3 favorite beats, like beat-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So, How It Feels was first, Sunshine was second, and I forget what the third was.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the use of Faces and Places.
Faces and Places is really good.
He liked the beat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wasn't really listening through the whole song. He wasn't. Yeah, it was just his first listen. And yeah, Riley Day. You know,
she killed it.
Had the best beat, even though I made every other beat on the album.
And not only that, what I really did enjoy, everyone here was up for being filmed, and not only that, like we're conscientious of that. It made my job so lovely.
Right.
Like when Riley was down there and she was making that song, I was setting up lights, different colors, and trying different things out. Like she has bright pink hair.
Right.
And I'm trying to figure out what's the best color to clash with pink. You know? I went with green.
Yeah.
I went with green. And like I just randomly happened to have gone thrifting the other day and bought some green bulbs. randomly.
My thrift shop king.
Yeah. Half of my
we're back to the resourceful thing.
My lighting setup was all thrift. And so I lit her up with some green lights and stuff, and it looked great.
Right.
You know, but what I loved about her is she kept working, kept making music, and like me doing my thing, her doing her thing. We kind of got into this flow. Like she could kind of tell what I was doing, and right. But we didn't have to talk. We didn't have to communicate with that or anything like that.
Well, I remember her doing like this roll down the piano, and she's like, "That would look pretty cool."
Mm-hmm.
And then you set up on her hands, and it looked pretty cool.
We didn't have to work very hard at communication. She was a pleasure to work with.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. She's still a pleasure to work with.
Mm-hmm.
We've been going back and forth for the last 2 weeks about. I've got piano stuff from her. We're doing a project together. Like.
Not me, dude. I died after that thing. I didn't sleep for a week.
She did get us sick as well.
Oh.
But the cold was worth it For what she put down, the cold was worth it.
Yeah, she killed it.
I definitely missed one day of work. I would have missed more, but my boss paid me for the week.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed home. I didn't do anything for the following week.
Yeah.
Didn't get out of bed. Didn't flinch. Didn't move. I did not sleep that whole retreat, man.
So, and then we had to wrap up. Okay. Is there any other high points that you can remember?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think the thing that I liked the most about this trip was the fact that we had some time constraints.
Right.
Like the fact that we had a time constraint, it forced us to just be creative, pivot, move, think about it on our feet, because Yusuf worked, like we said, from 9 to 5 at the coffee shop. So I only had him for a couple of hours.
Right.
And so he and I have a music video that we put together for a song that he did. Unreleased right now. So far. But the morning after the first night he got here, he went for a hike up on the hills.
Right.
And he took my camera up there.
Right, you guys invited me, and I was like, I'm not a hiker.
I'm not really a hiker. I was not up for hiking.
I heard you only made it halfway anyways, but...
Bro, I went up maybe about 100 yards, and I was like, yeah, bro, I'm not up for this.
It's too early.
It's too early. I didn't sleep good.
And
not only that, I just want to be busted up for the rest of the trip.
Right.
And so he went up, took my camera up there, and filmed himself up there. And then...
Because that's what Yusuf does.
Yeah.
Yusuf just goes.
Uh-huh. And so we had a video angle of him and this song that he had done, and we were trying to figure out what other things that we had, and we couldn't really film inside the house because there was so much going on already, and so we were kind of relegated to being outside, and so we got creative with a stairwell, which stairwells is just immediately composition.
Right, because there was a nice long stairwell there.
Mm-hmm. Stairwells provide composition. They're like cheater codes. Where you can film on a stair.
Yeah. You don't know what it is.
Yeah, it just looks good. Right. Always does. And so, but we were trying to figure out some other things, and I'm not entirely sure how or what we came up with it, but we came up with this idea.
I'm sure there was a little bit of alcohol involved. Maybe some else.
There was some weird idea to come up with. I think I came up with the idea. And I don't know where it came from.
I don't know, but I do remember walking outside to have a cigarette, and I saw you guys doing this stuff
with a
against
big
the
old
wall.
Flashlight.
It was blue out. There was a big old flashlight going on.
Yeah.
Dalton's back there, lighting you guys up. And I didn't even know what it was for until you showed me.
But it's one of my favorite, silliest things, and it makes me laugh every time I see it.
Right.
And we wouldn't have come up with that if we didn't have the time constraints.
If you didn't have to.
Yeah, if we didn't have to. We had to.
Right.
And so I love that. And it's not like it's crazy kind of pressure either.
No.
It's just everyone recognizes that our time is so limited. And I got to say that I probably got more done creatively in that week than I did the last year and a half by myself.
Right, easily.
Finished product-wise.
Finished
product, yeah.
It took me a week or two to finish the product, but I had the product.
Mm-hmm.
And
the polishing.
That's the hard part, is the product, is getting it.
Yep.
Getting people to sit down and lock in for a week is important.
Mm-hmm.
When all you do, I don't think I look at my phone more than twice a day, and that was to text my wife.
Gosh, the only time I was pulling my phone out was to use the light as a flashlight.
Even when I went poop, bro, I didn't even have my phone on me because I wanted to get in and out. I had work to do. I knew I had stuff to do that needed to get done. And yeah, that's the best part about this thing is you don't think about it, but you're not doing anything but.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up, you make music.
Crush yourself, dude.
Take a nap, makes music. Go out and get some eat, come back making music while you're eating.
Mm-hmm.
Or film or whatever. Sunset came around with Riley, and it's everybody needs to get the drums out, so we all stopped for a minute.
Oh,
get drums outside.
Everyone had to hustle and get those drums outside.
Before the sun, because the sun was dropping.
Bro, and I was being a taskmaster and a half. I was we have T-minus 30 minutes, and the sun is going to go down.
Right, and we're back there looking like Elon Musk. Yes, sir! Yes, sir, Elon!
We got it set up. We were ready, man, though, I got to say.
The golden hour.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's the thing. It's the prettiest time for us to film, especially the location up on the side of the hill.
Right.
I'm excited. It was a blast.
Oh, and I can't wait.
It would only get better. I mean, the more times you do this, they just get better and better and better every time.
Right. The feeling that you get from this, like while you're there and in it, it's beyond words.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that I can say to explain it exactly what it feels like until you come and show up.
I will say, as time has gone by in my life, I have built up a professional and personal backlog of content and things that I've made. And it is cool to grab something like a film or a DVD or watching something that you made from a time period from long ago or even recent.
Right.
You relive that.
Right.
Like when I go and I look at that album cover, I relive
the one that you didn't want to do with us all standing backwards.
No.
This isn't gonna work, Jordan.
I did not say that. I said we have all these cool looking individuals. It's a shame to make them turn their backs.
But it worked.
It looks good. I'll give you that. It looks good.
It looks even better with the mini album that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the 8 days a week is out there streaming. It's out there. It's live right now. Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music. I bought it. It's $8. Spend $8 on an album. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You only like one song. It's 99 cents. You know, we're not getting rich off this album. We are showing people what we do and what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And with the mini album out, because we had a couple extra songs that went past like the creative process. 7 songs in a day, but we did 8 in a week. Like conceptually, that worked. Mm-hmm. And then your picture of us all huddled around you was dope. It was amazing.
Yep.
And so it had to go on the mini. Everybody was sending me pictures too. Like, we want this for our album cover. You want this for our album cover. Like unfortunately, you don't get an cover art for your song. Mm-hmm. You get an album cover, and that's it.
Yeah, no, but I've been telling people, like, we can do some stuff for the music video-wise, thumbnails.
Oh, yeah.
Which will basically, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm working in the background for some people on that.
A lot of these, I have music videos for pretty much all these, or at least 30, 40-second clips.
Well, and those will be on YouTube soon, right?
Mm-hmm. I will have those out here. At MVP Retreats.
MVP Retreats on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the album's out. It's MVP Records is the main name on it. It's MVP Retreats 8 days a week, or MVP Retreats Mini.
MVP Retreats Mini.
I think that one's only like $3 too. Like spend $10 and buy our stuff.